Yes, I am so happy and I'm so excited to be in your presence today. I'm overjoyed. Aren't you joyed? Aren't you filled with so much joy? Now I am going to talk to you about one of the most critical things that makes so many people become poor, eventually die miserable. It affected me. I discovered a particular law that made me to pass through and become something tremendous in my life today. I've been able to build businesses and I've been able to do several things, which amongst is one of this YouTube channel, which gives me one of the basic greatest joy to have reached out to you today. If you stay tuned till the end, you will see that one particular thing that destroys most people. Without wasting much of your time, number one, your environment. You can rightly attest, just like Buckminster Fuller rightly said. He said, you cannot change your present circumstances or situation by fighting against it. You only change it by replacing it. Now, this is what happened. If you are poor, living in a poor environment, the day you eventually leave that environment and go to a rich environment, a wealthy environment, an estate, maybe you went there to go and see an uncle, or you went there peradventure, something took you there, I don't know, maybe something eventually took you to a rich environment. You will discover something. First and foremost, your bodily sensations would change. You will start feeling somehow a little bit of an anxiety, because first and foremost, this environment, the wealthy environment, is not your natural habitat. Your natural habitat is an environment is a poor environment. But now, because you relocated to a rich environment, your body naturally changes. The sensation in you naturally changes. When you translocate yourself into a rich environment, first and foremost, something happens. Your body fights it. Your body repels it. Your body tries to fight, because this environment is not conducive to your subconscious mind. So your subconscious mind tries to do everything possible to naturally fight against that environment. That is why people who come out from poor environments naturally die poor. For you to change and become wealthy, you need to exit that particular environment. Now, you can exit that particular environment through physical relocation or through changing environment of the people you will interact with. Now, something happens. When a rich person relocates and stays in a poor environment, something happens. At first, you might get ill because your body sensation will change. You will get ill. Your body will change. For some people, they become uncomfortable. You start feeling some ache. You start feeling some rashes. This is your subconscious being trying to react against that environment, trying to let you know that this is not me. This is not where I belong. But when you stay there on and on and on and on for quite a number of time, something eventually happens. One would ask, what happens? Your body starts to adapt and adopt. Your body starts to adapt and adopt. Your body starts to adapt and adopt. Your body starts to attune to that environment, that poor environment. Suddenly, the things that usually made you to feel uncomfortable in that environment, you start embracing them. You start taking them as normal. You may not enjoy them immediately, but you don't throw them off, because you've now started attuning to that environment. So sooner than later, that poor environment starts inhabiting your subconscious mind. This is how your subconscious mind takes in things and wear them and bring them out. Your subconscious mind works with feelings. Whatsoever you want your subconscious mind to bring to this real world, it must be clothed with feelings. You must wrap it up with feelings. So when you start getting involved with that kind of environment, that poor environment, your feelings start getting engulfed. You start creating those feelings around. You start assimilating those feelings and you start sending them to your subconscious mind, because first and foremost, it gets to your conscious mind. Your conscious mind sees all those things and it starts accepting them, assimilating, taking it in. Your as it's taking it in, it starts clothing it with feelings, because what you see on and on and on, you eventually become. What you see on and on and on, you eventually become. If you have never seen a wealthy person, I can tell you most solemnly that becoming wealthy in your own life might become an uphill task, or would I say seemingly an impossible task, because you've never seen a wealthy person. This takes me to number 2, association. By far, I can tell you that you will be as the same net worth with the 5 closest friends which you constantly stay close to. Your net worth would be closely related, or will be in relative to your 5 closest friends. So for example, if your 5 closest friends earns within $1,000 to $10,000, you will discover that by and by your own finance will revolve around $1,000 to $10,000, because by close association you assimilate subconsciously what they are having in their own life. If you stay with a divorcee, or your life is revolved around divorcees, people who have divorced in their marriage, by law of association, you start embodying what they are. Sooner than later, do not be surprised if you find yourself being a divorced person. By law of association, when you constantly go around people who are poor, you start assimilating their mindset, their way of thought, their thinking, and how they do things, their actions. That is why the good book, the Bible, said, iron sharpeneth iron. Iron sharpeneth iron. So you have to ask yourself today, who are my 5 closest friends? Who are my 5 closest friends? Now, let me tell you what the law of association does. The good book, the Bible. There was a part of narration in the Bible that said that Joshua and Caleb, with the other spies, they sent to go and check the promised land, the land of Canaan, which was said to be flowing with milk and honey. But something happened. When these 12 people went there, they have been told, and indeed they saw it with their own eyes, that that land was a land that was flowing with milk and honey. But when they went there, they saw it and they came back. It was time for them to give the report of what they saw. The other 10 spies said something tremendous. They said, yes, indeed, we went there, we saw. It is indeed a land flowing with milk and honey. But do you know something bad? That land has giants. Giants. And also, the sons of Anakims are there. And the sons of Anakims were known as giants. Do you know one thing? We look like grasshoppers in their eyes. And behold, we were as grasshoppers in their sight. These were the testaments and testimonies of the other 10 spies. But the other 2 spies, which were Caleb and the other colleague, something happened. They said, yes, indeed, we saw all that. But we are well able. Let us go at once and possess the land. Now, the other 10 had already infected the children of Israelites with destructive testimonies. And they started complaining, and they started murmuring, they started fighting, they started shouting. This made God angry. A journey that was supposed to take them just 40 days ended up taking them 40 years. Do you know one thing? The first generations all died in the wilderness, never witnessing that Canaan land because of their complaining and their murmuring. This is what the law of association brings to you. Even Joshua and Caleb, even these people who were positive, but because their life was deeply embedded with the negative people, they also suffered the same fate which the negative people suffered. Now, can I tell you a shocker? If you get this today, your life will change forever. Simply because you are a positive human being. When you constantly find yourself engulfed, staying around negative people for a long time, sooner than later, the fate of those people, those other negative people, you will also suffer what they suffer. If you constantly stay with poor people, you eventually become poor. Iron sharpeneth iron. It is as easy as that. So, these are the things you must change today. Change your environment. Find mentors who have achieved what you want to achieve. Find mentors who have achieved what you want to achieve. Change your environment. Change your natural habitat. If your natural habitat is making you not to succeed, change it immediately this 2026. If you discover that your friends are friends which are poor, change them. Go through your phone contacts, check your friends. When you check your friends, you will discover, don't deceive yourself, that there are people who you have their contacts that have no meaning to render in your life. Cut them off. Delete all those contacts. You don't need them. You don't need them because iron sharpeneth iron. Whatsoever a man sows, that is what he will reap. If you sow good fruit, do not be deceived. God is not mocked. You will enjoy good fruit. If you sow bad seeds, do not be deceived. God is not mocked. You will reap bad fruit. By their fruit you shall know them. How would you want to accelerate to $1 million every month or every year? And constantly we find your life around people who play gambling, lottery, and all what sort that is not worth it. You can't deceive yourself, because a man who decides to go west must face west. If you decide to go west and you're facing the east, you will inevitably end where you face. Check your environment today. Is it conducive for your growth this 2026? Check your association. What you constantly see with your eyes, what you constantly behold, you eventually become. There is no two ways about it. Thank you very much if you've stayed up until this moment. I'd like you to like and also press the notification button so that whenever this kind of content comes out from me, you will definitely be the first. Be free, share it among your friends, people who you know would need this kind of message. See you in the next video. Thank you very much.